In anticipation of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I had plans to make an Indiana Jones related episode for Media Dodger for months. I thought, how about an Indiana Jones video game? So I went searching and found Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings for the Wii. I saw the reviews and I decided I needed to test it out to see what kind of material I could get off of it. Of course, before shooting, I decided I should watch all four movies in preparation for the fifth film, then I could start shooting. The first scene I shot for the episode was actually while I was still recording the gameplay footage. I filmed that already because I was ready to give up on one particular part of the game when I wasn't able to solve a specific puzzle at first. I had to look up a walkthrough just to figure it out. I had to use a walkthrough twice when recording the gameplay. Anyway, the scene I shot was when Dodger uses his whip to pull the disc out of the console towards him. It seemed simple enough. Just push the whip through the hole in the middle of the disc, then pull it out and reverse the footage in post to make it look like the whip was going right through the hole in the disc. But there was a problem. I was able to get the shot where I pulled the disc right out of the Wii U just fine. However, actually having the whip get to the disc in the first place was where it got tricky. There were two things to worry about for that take. One is obvious. I didn't want to smudge the disc. The other is that if I pushed the whip too far into the disc, I couldn't do the effect the way I wanted it to be done. Either the disc would start being sucked back into the console, or it would slip out, or whatever other problems would be faced from this. What I eventually figured out was just stick the tails of the whip into the hole and pull back. With the right editing, I could still make the effect work. It wasn't what I originally had in mind, but I thought it should still work out just fine. After I watched the four Indiana Jones films, I could start shooting. First thing was to walk around the house to show that all four Indiana Jones movies were playing in my house at the same time. I needed four devices to make this work, not counting the big TV I used for recording the footage. I already had three before I started filming. There was the Xbox One hooked to the TV in my room. Also in my room is a Mac OS computer, which is what I mainly use for, well, anytime at all I use a computer. But then there's this Dell laptop I have, which I only use for when I travel or to record footage. But that Dell laptop doesn't have an internal disk drive. I gotta use an external drive. I only had to buy one device to play a movie. It's a portable DVD player I ordered from Amazon. If you grew up in the 2000s like I did, you probably remember these things. Anytime you took car trips, your parents would strap one of these to the back of the headrest of the seat in front of you, and you would watch movies during the trip. This thing doesn't look like it gets strapped to the back of a car seat. It's more like something you'd use in an airplane if there's no in-flight movies you want to watch, and you have your own set of DVDs you'd like to use instead. And before you ask, yes, there's a headphone jack on this thing. If you got headphones, it won't attract attention. But why are we talking about portable DVD players? We're supposed to be talking about Indiana Jones. As you see in the video, I used the portable DVD player for Raiders of the Lost Ark, I used the laptop for Temple of Doom, the Xbox One for Last Crusade, and the Mac OS for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The Mac OS didn't have an internal disk drive either, not that it would have mattered since I don't have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on DVD, but I do have a Paramount Plus account I pay for myself, so I just use that. Everything else seems pretty straightforward. I record footage of myself, both acting in front of the camera and performing voice lines. For now, I want to share some deleted scenes. Some were removed so that the pacing was evened out, and others were removed because there wasn't really any need to keep it in. Plus, some of the scenes make this video seem more like a walkthrough than a review. That would mean another reason the scenes were removed. Anyway, here's the deleted scenes edited together. Enjoy!
Then I found out I can move this crate out of the way of this window. Okay, I guess the window's the right way to go, but I had to do some tricky whip usage just to break in. I can't just climb to the top, that doesn't work. I gotta break through the window. In the next room I enter, I fight some more guys. What's funny is this guy just playing on the piano while I'm beating people up. And then once you're done with those guys, he pushes the piano out of the way of the stairs. Okay. You go up, then all of a sudden you go out the window just to fight this big guy that was guarding the door. Yeah. Now I enter this bar where fireworks went off beforehand, and now the whole place is a sea of flames. Is this like the bar from the first movie? Hasn't this movie rated enough from Raiders? But before you can even have a bar fight, there's a quick time event. Yeah, mixed in with the action-adventure style gameplay are these quick time events. You gotta press a button or shake the controller in some weird way or whatever. Soon you can advance, and the door opens, leading you to another death trap to escape. and then there's more pendulums, plus a couple crushers. There's also this statue here. Apparently, in order to advance, you need to let the crusher crush the statue to pick up this big piece of debris and carry it over to stop the water flow. But watch out for those freaking pendulums that knock you around and force you to drop the thing. Once the flow stops, set off a chain reaction to destroy the boulder that's blocking the path. Push some more boulders, and what will eventually happen is you'll have to run from a rolling boulder. Can't believe we're doing this again. The next room has you pushing switches and avoiding boulders. First it's one boulder, and then there's 2, 3. You think there's enough boulders? And as if that's not enough, you have to push the switches in the right order. There's only 7 in the pit, and the 8th one is above. Once you activate all 8, this tiny gold ball drops into the pit. Picking it up is tricky because it's always rolling around. Then you gotta throw it through one of those golden hoops. But only the right one will allow you to advance to the next room. You try one, then you find out it's the wrong one. Then you try the other one. At the same time, you still gotta avoid the boulders. This part took me a while to get past because I didn't realize I needed to go upstairs in order to have any chance of making it past this big pit. Then I have to sidle my way across the wall, and there are even parts when I have to drop down. It's a little tricky, but nothing I can't handle. Then I'm on top of some thing, I guess. Oh, nice. I slipped and fell back into the room I was before. Well, that's fine. I mean, the game's saved just as I reached this part, as indicated by the book turning pages in the corner.
This is pretty shabby as far as dungeons go. Might even be worse than my office.
I have to clear the pit all over again? What a tease. So I make it back to the bridge, it collapses, and now I gotta find a way to get across. Not much to it, just get to a higher level, use that whip to kick that statue down, and there's your bridge. Clear another spider path, then you gotta make it across a bridge and swing across a gap before the doors close to enter the last room. Here, with the Jade Sphere, we discover a notebook that details Moses stretching out his staff to part the Red Sea. From this, we learn that the Staff of Kings from the title is the Staff of Moses, and it's what your old friend was looking for before he disappeared. But the door suddenly closes, and now you got another puzzle to solve. Looking at this map, and then these circular tiles on the floor, it's clear you gotta step on the tiles in the right order. Basically, look at the map, and the 4 tiles have these red dots. The number of red dots around the shapes, from fewest to most red dots, that's the correct order. But at the same time, you better look out for these rolling boulders. Kind of a pain, but hey, no big. Just solve the puzzle, the door opens up, and the Nazis pour in, trying to steal the notebook. But you make a break for it.
No!
I figure out the puzzle, just pull this cart back so it can launch these spears at the snake's head, and the bush is revealed. But whoops, I drop down. Too high and I'm dead. Gotta do that whole puzzle again? I should have known better, and I say this without an inch of sarcasm. I gotta use the whip to make my way down. Now I set this bush on fire, and I can move on to the next room.